In the continuing saga of everybody gets to the moon but us, quote unquote, here's the next installment, folks. Evil must be punished. Alright, good thing I don't drink or do drugs, because I'd probably be really plastered by now. ABC News again. Japan launches lunar probe as moon race heats up. Tokyo. Reuters. Japan launched its first lunar probe on Friday, the latest move in a new race to explore the moon, with China, India, and the United States also planning lunar missions. The rocket carrying the 3-ton Selene orbiter took off into the blue skies over the tiny island of Tanegashima, about 1,000 kilometers or 620 miles south of Tokyo at 10:31 a.m. 0131 GMT on Friday. The long-delayed lunar explorer is scheduled to separate from the rocket about 45 minutes after liftoff, before orbiting the Earth twice and then traveling 380,000 kilometers, which is 237,500 miles, to the moon. The first stage engine is working normally, the space agency's launch commentator said in a live broadcast of the launch on Japanese Space Agency's website. Japan scientists say the 55 billion yen, which is $479.2 million launch of Selene, which stands for Seniological and Engineering Explorer, is the world's most technically complex mission to the moon since the U.S. Apollo program decades ago. Alright, I'll let y'all read the rest of it. I'll get you the links over there. Well, what can I say here? I've got another link too. Philly.com. Japan Selene probe reaches lunar orbit. So this is even newer. This is October 4th. Japan has placed a satellite in orbit around the moon for the first time, officials said Friday, in a major space breakthrough for the Asian nation. The mission involves positioning the main satellite at an altitude of about 60 miles and deploying 2 smaller satellites in polar orbits, according to the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency, or JAXA. Researchers will use data gathered by the 279 million Scientological and Engineering Explorer, or Selene, project to study the moon's origin and evolution. The main orbiter will stay in position for about a year. Yada, yada, yada. Okay, so I'll get you both of them links. What can I say, man? Seems like everybody and their freaking brother's going to the moon except us. And this shit ain't happening years and years and years from now. The shit's happening now. Okay? It's happening now. And what's the problem, man? I'm not getting it. We ain't got an old Apollo or a Saturn rocket laying around somewhere. My God, we could bring the Yorktown in after being severely damaged during World War II and have it back out to sea in combat readiness in a week's time, but we can't throw a Saturn or an Apollo rocket up there real quick? I'm not getting it, man. I'm not getting it. During World War II, for those of you who don't know what the hell I'm talking about, during World War II, we had an aircraft carrier called the Yorktown. The Yorktown was extremely damaged during a Japanese attack during World War II. It was so badly damaged, in fact, they thought it was going to sink. But they towed the Yorktown back into port. They swarmed it like a bunch of mad honeybees, and they had the sucker prepped and ready to rock and roll and had it back out to sea in, I think it was like 5 or 7 days. It was just a phenomenal feat of go for it. What's the phrase I'm looking for? Stick-to-itiveness, gung-ho, whatever. Anyway, they had the ship back out in the water in like 7 days or something. It was a phenomenal thing, But yet, we ain't got a Saturn or an Apollo rocket we can't throw up there real quick. I'm not buying it, man. I'm not buying it. Something's not right in Denmark here somewhere. I'm just not getting it, man. I mean, my God, who's next? The fucking Republic of the Congo? What's going on here, man? I'm not getting it. Maybe I'm missing something.